Okay, so now I'm going to show you the process for adding a new client to the database. When you're looking at the main data screen that we've got here, you'll see that the Add New Client button is up the top. This walks our workers through the process of receiving a referral from a third party, perhaps from local government or one of our partner NGOs. When you click in, you see that you're presented with this form. There's quite a lot of information on it. We typically wouldn't expect an average referral to give us all of this information, and so this form remains live once you add the client to the database. But today we're going to assume that the referrer is a perfect referrer and has gathered all of this information for us, and we're just going to run through it. As with everything, this form exists in both English and Khmer, but for now we're going to just run it in English. So let's add our new client's name, and the client today is called Michael McTest Client. Michael is male, and we're going to make Michael a few months old. If you wanted to skim back through the years, you can actually click on here to give yourself more options, but for today let's keep it reasonably simple. Michael's too young to attend school, so we don't need any information there. And Michael, will say, was born in Kampong Cham and is currently living in Kampong Tom. Why not? Michael's current address, we're just going to put in as an example address. You may need to work this data field to fit your needs. We typically put in the village name, the commune name, and things like that, because sometimes addressing in rural areas is more difficult. The caseworker that Michael is currently assigned to, I'm going to make myself. We'll say that he's also been received by myself and is being followed up by me. You can make all of these fields apply to different workers. If you've had one person take the phone call and then another person has done the follow-up and then a third person ends up being their caseworker, these can all be different fields. But today we'll keep it simple. And the follow-up date we're going to say is also today. Agencies involved is for existing NGOs that might already be working with this client. So we have quite a short list of this because most of our clients, if they're being referred to us, aren't being worked with by another NGO. But let's just say in this case we have a hospital or clinic or doctor. These fields that exist in English and Khmer simultaneously come from the Mosavi and Dosavi forms for referral of an abandoned child. And so this data we can actually use to automatically generate the government paperwork later on. So we'll run through this a little bit at a time. This one is the history of disability or illness tick box collection. So we'll say in this case that Michael is HIV/AIDS positive. You might also notice that this checkbox for our ABLE program, which is our disability and HIV support program, automatically checks when we add this, and if I remove it, then the checkbox disappears as well. History of harm, so we'll say that Michael has been neglected. History of high-risk behaviours, Michael's a little young to have a criminal history of his own, but perhaps his parents might have had a criminal history. Reason for family separation, seems likely that Michael's been abandoned. And the referral source may well be the hospital that he was abandoned at, if I can find that on the list. There it is. Michael's referral phone number would be the phone number for the hospital, so that we call them back. I'm fairly sure this is not actually the phone number for the hospital, don't try and call it. And then relevant referral information is just a short case note explaining the situation. So, Michael was abandoned at the hospital by his parents. Hospital staff advise a difficult home situation. Michael hasn't been in an orphanage or in government care, so we won't check either of these things, and then we hit save. And so this will bring us to Michael's client information headquarters, if you like. You see that all of this information that we entered is editable. This form remains live, so that if things change, or if we discover the information was incorrect, or if the caseworker that Michael is assigned to changes, we can go in and change that information as well. And then our final choice that we need to make is whether we accept or reject the referral. Reasons we might reject a referral for ourselves would be if we lacked the resources to adequately care for Michael, or if it was a referral that was more appropriate for another NGO, then we may reject that referral. If we did that, his information does remain in our database so that none of this is lost. And if he were referred to us again at a later date and we were able to take that referral, then nothing has been lost. In this case, we're going to accept the referral, and that's going to add Michael to our case management stream.